I think it takes a lot of things in the world to kind of like define you and shape you as the person that you're going to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything from like what you do for work, for like where you grew up, the situations.
And that kind of begs the question, do our hobbies define us? Welcome back very much to the LeisureHub Podcast. I'm Justin, alongside me,
Pedro.
Madera. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to you with another podcast of the LeisureHub Podcast. And today we're talking about, do your hobbies define you as a person? End quote.
Before it. Let's kind of backtrack and just like.
Do you like that? Do you like that transition though? How I led it into the.
That was really dope. I mean, I called in as soon as you said define.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's gonna
but
come
these
with
viewers don't know nothing.
Oh man, they have to appreciate. You got to appreciate.
There's an art to it. There's an art to talking and rambling, and I just realized that I just found out that I had ADHD of some sort. I think I haven't actually gotten tested for it, but I think like I'm like 60% sure I have it, and it would explain a lot. So it helps me talk random and throw things together, and sometimes make sense.
Hey, it's a perfect hobby then.
Nope, it's a wrong hobby. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, like before we get into if our hobbies define us or not,
they do.
Can we just name a few of our hobbies, and maybe we could, I guess, come to a conclusion whether they do or do not.
You want to come to a conclusion?
Yes, I want to come
to a conclusion.
Comcast. Basically,
what you're saying is you want to conclude.
Yes.
All right. Well, since you brought it up, what are some hobbies / interests that you have, like whatever, like your top 5 are?
Top 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Gaming.
What?
Obviously, dude.
That's the dumbest number.
Yeah. I would say gaming, kayaking.
You still do that?
Yeah.
I remember you told me you got into that.
I started kayaking 4 years ago.
Damn. That takes a lot of effort.
Dude, I love it. It's really cool.
Kayaking is fun. I remember when you bought your kayak and everything. You're like, bro, I got the roof racks for it. I got everything.
So hyped.
Yeah.
I was so hyped. But yeah, I just been to a couple places. Anyways, so yeah, kayaking, hiking. I just started getting into snowboarding, but I wouldn't consider that like a full hobby yet.
No, I feel like once your leg recovers.
Yeah. And I haven't gone enough for me to even consider it as a hobby.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like other people would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because you did something like a couple times doesn't mean it's a full on hobby. Anyways. And then I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any of like as of now, but those are my big ones.
So how many was that you had? You had hiking, kayaking. You said you don't consider snowboarding.
No, I don't consider snowboarding. I say gaming. And yeah.
You don't consider design a hobby?
No.
No?
No, I consider that a duty.
Why do you say that?
Huh?
Why do you say that?
Because drawing would be a hobby. But design.
Yeah, but I feel like you can design for fun, and that would be in return your hobby. Like you don't have to do it for clients necessarily.
No, right. But I just don't do it. I don't do it if I don't have an objective, like a job objective.
Right. That makes sense. I got you.
But when it comes to like drawing, or even like, would thinking be a hobby? Dude, I think a lot.
I don't know if I would.
Dude,
I don't know if I would consider
shit.
I know. I think about a lot of deep shit too, but that, like, my brain doesn't turn off. I feel like sometimes.
True.
But again, that goes with what my point earlier about like ADHD. Like that's one of the signs. Like your brain's just constantly running, which isn't good. I don't know if I would really consider thinking a hobby. If you consider a hobby, then it's a hobby to you.
Right.
For me, I would probably think about it and be like, I don't know if that's a hobby, but that's how, you can define, you make your own definition of what a hobby is.
I guess it's almost as fun. It's just fun to just think.
Yeah.
I guess that's, I don't know if other people see it this way, but just thinking about like thinking and questioning everything.
Yeah.
To me is so fun. A lot of people wouldn't agree, like especially people that are, I guess, conservative. I mean, I'm not going political here. I'm talking about conservative in their way of thinking. You know, I mean, they just stick to what they think it's right, and that's it. They don't. I try to go into other perspectives.
You gotta challenge your perspectives. You gotta challenge your ideas.
Dude, that's so fun to me. Like challenge myself.
No,
I rather challenge myself than try to challenge somebody else.
Bro, I like challenging myself, and I like challenging other people.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. You're right. Dude, it's true.
Because I feel like people get so flustered. Like when you challenge what they think is their world, right?
Yeah, they get offended.
They get offended, and it's like, I'm not telling you what you're saying is wrong.
Yes.
All I'm saying is that it's like I can see it in a different lighting or a different perspective.
Right.
So all I'm saying is like to think about a different possibility. And I do that a lot with people, especially Victoria. And she gets so pissed, and it's like, it's not that serious. We're just having a conversation.
It's always the people closest to you.
Yeah,
that you want to challenge.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the person that you're talking to, right? Like that's why Pedro and I have such a good rapport, is because we have a similar mindset of challenging each other. Like we'll go back and forth about something forever, and like sometimes we're like, there's times where we're like, no, yeah, you're right, yeah. But we never take it personally.
No,
ever.
I mean, I don't think it's about that. I mean, that's I feel like that's when you lose it. Yeah. When you take it personally, it's like you have to stop.
I think I was talking to a few people about this before, but politics, right? And I'm not talking about politics, but I'm just talking about the concept of them.
Yeah.
The reason why people get so upset and offended about a new law or something like that is because they put all of their emotion into believing that thing is correct.
Yes.
Right. And I'm not saying this or that is correct. I'm just saying like that's the concept, right? Like if you tell me that if for you the sky is blue, but I've always seen it as red, and you were like, the sky's not red, or the sky's not red, it's blue. Like now you're challenging my belief, right? And my feelings on the matter, which now makes me want to like get kind of defensive. Like, no, you're wrong. Like that's not at all. Like, you know what I mean? So you have to remove your emotion from topics of conversation like that. Like when the moment you inject emotion is the moment that you get defensive and you start trying to rebuttal.
Okay.
You know?
So I feel like we're talking too much about this hobby that we call thinking, quote unquote. I want to touch on that later. Okay. Because I feel like this could be a good topic on what really defines us. Yeah. What really defines us. Yeah. So I want to now. It's one of my top hobbies, but these hobbies help us connect with others.
Bro, you didn't even let me talk about my hobbies.
Oh shit. You're right, bro. We've been talking for a lot.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know, dude.
Sorry.
I don't know, dude.
We'll bleep that out. I feel like there's certain...
What bleep? Did I say fuck?
No, I did. You just said
I just said it.
Like I actually saw a post about that on Threads. What? Like certain podcasts, do you say the F word? Do you not say the F word? Some people are okay with it. Some people aren't. But like a lot of the times when you have reels and stuff on Instagram and wherever, those like saying any type of curse word has like a drawback. Like if you say it, like for specifically for YouTube, the algorithm will pick up on that and it won't recommend your videos to other people because you're using curse words. Yeah.
I heard too, like if you use it in like the first 15 seconds or like, it's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, like because YouTube as a whole is a platform for people for companies to monetize their ads. Yeah. So like, I mean, you have ad revenue, right? Yeah. So like a lot of companies are promoting, like you watch 5 minutes of video. In between that, you have an ad for like Chewy, you have an ad for Apple, you have an ad for whatever. Like YouTube wants it to be a safe place for marketers to be able to put their ads on, and the cursing in the marketing world is like a negative thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Like a channel dropping F-bombs here and there.
Yeah.
And then a Sesame Street ad right in the middle.
I mean, you watch Sesame Street?
I mean, no, my kids are not really into that. I haven't really.
No, you watch it. I'm asking if you watch it.
No, I used to.
You used to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I never did because I was I was an adult, so I never did that.
Oh yeah, I remember. You was like smoking at the age of like 7.
Yeah, smoking Black and Miles at the age of 7. I would say my hobbies, number 1 is gaming.
Yeah.
Snowboarding has taken like the number 2 place, which we've talked about on another pod.
Mm-hmm.
I would say tech is another technology. Like I'm kind of like a tech enthusiast, so like I like finding out about the next tech thing. And now I'm blanking about it. Blanking
about your hobbies.
Yeah.
So you said snowboarding,
gaming, snowboarding. Gaming.
You said tech.
Yeah, tech.
You need at least one more.
I need one more, bro. I guess I'm boring because I don't have any other hobbies.
Anime.
Yeah, I guess you could say like watching movies, TV shows. Keeping up with like manga, anime, stuff like that.
There you go.
But back to your point about how you can use a lot of these hobbies to connect with other people.
Mm-hmm.
What were you? What were you thinking?
I was just gonna say that, like, yeah, these hobbies help us connect with other people that, like, let's say, we might have different way of thinking, we might have different political views, but these things, as harmless as they can be,
mm-hmm.
Help us connect with people that might not be of the same side. I'm talking about morality spectrum.
Morality.
Okay.
So it's a big word.
Right? Is it? Did I use it right?
No, it's not a big word.
But you get what I mean? So it's help us connect with others.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you think, like, would we be talking if we didn't have the same interest in gaming? Or, I mean, we met through school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But dude, we talk about gaming a lot.
Yeah. Like gaming is the number 1 thing that we talk about.
Yeah.
100%.
And it helps us, connect and chill and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the main reason, but I guess like that hobby helped us get to where we are today.
I feel like it helps. In a way. Yeah. It helps build relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick alternative, like some extra hobbies, I would say like music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm really into music, and then I just had it and I lost it.
You're really into music?
Yeah, I know, but I had another one after that. Bro, my mind, like I'm getting distracted. That's why.
The ADHD, 60% sure.
Shut the fuck up.
But yeah.
Oh, cars.
Yeah.
Cars. Like I'm a car enthusiast. Now I will say, like, I'm a fake car enthusiast.
Why?
Like that's my very last hobby.
Why is that?
Last.
Why you call yourself fake?
A fake hobbyist for cars?
Yeah.
Specifically because I don't I tinted my windows and like that's pretty much it.
I get what you mean. You have interest on it, but
yeah,
you don't practice it.
Right. Because like, let's be honest, like if you're gonna lower your car and add an exhaust, and you're gonna change your wheels out for new rims, and that stuff, bro, that stuff is really expensive. Games are expensive.
Dude, yes.
But cars are even they're astronomically expensive.
So expensive, dude. Just an exhaust most likely costs you $1,000+. Just an exhaust.
Yeah.
If you want good rims, like nice ass rims, like new rims, dude, $1,500+ with tires.
Yeah.
I mean, to all the car people out there, I salute you, and I hope your wives are doing okay. But man,
you were part of a car gang for a while.
Car gang.
Subi gang.
Yeah, I'm a fake Subi though, because it's a BRZ. A lot of people wouldn't recognize it as a Subi.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Right?
I'll throw it up.
Yeah.
Right here.
But yeah, I did that. I guess that was a hobby for a little while.
Yeah.
I try to work on my own car, I had I bought suspension for it. I had rims, I had tires, I bought a spoiler for it. I had an intake and stuff, like shit that I wanted to get into. And I was new into that I said, I guess, hobby.
Like the space, the community.
I was new in that community, and it was cool as hell, going to car meets and like learning about different stuff that I can do to my car, different stuff that I can do differently, more effective, and not only on the aesthetics, but more also on the performance side.
Right.
It's just a lot of stuff that you can learn and apply it to your own like everyday car that you wouldn't consider a hobby.
Yeah, but see, like there's a key word that we both used in your conversation, and that's community.
Yeah,
right. That community, like you met people, they were cool, they taught you like different things about how to like tune your car to like however you want it. And like that alone like connected you with other people.
Yes.
Like, were you best friends? No, but you had a common interest, right?
Right.
I'll say this again, and I'll say it every single podcast if I have to, assuming it comes up. The more we focus on our differences rather than our similarities, the more that there will continue to be hatred and disunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone encompasses like, I think people try to focus too much on like how they're different. I'm an individual. I'm different than this person. It's like, look, you're a part of alone, just a part of a car community. You have that interest alone that brought you guys together to really like show your interest to like the world. And like, I think that alone allows us to make new friendships, right? Imagine being friends with somebody that you had nothing in common with, like no hobby, like their hobbies were completely different. Like let's say they liked, and I'm not picking on these hobbies specifically to make fun of them or anything like that, but I'm saying like, let's say crocheting was one of their hobbies. Like, do you like crocheting? Does it resonate with you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have a lot of family members that do it.
Right.
But no, it doesn't resonate with me.
What about, I was going to say chess, but I know you like chess.
Dude, I love chess.
So I can't say that.
Yeah.
Swimming.
I mean, like competitive.
Yeah. No, it doesn't interest you. But like that kind of thing. Like if you met somebody, like I'm sure you would have something in common with them. But if those were their main hobbies, could you be their best friend? Maybe. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
But like gaming is easy for you. It's easy to make friends with people who like gaming because that's your number one hobby.
Yeah, I never saw it that way.
Yeah.
All my friends like gaming.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
All of my friends like gaming too.
Yeah.
So, but like we also like other things that bring us together, right? Like a lot of my, like you said, you like snowboarding. I like snowboarding. I got my girlfriend into it. A lot of
you got me into it.
Yeah. Like a lot of my other friends like snowboarding. So it's like clearly they like athletic hobbies or athletic hobbies. And same thing with you. Like you like outdoorsy type of hobbies. So chances are if you like hiking and you like kayaking, there's some other outdoor things that you would probably find in common with other people.
I love the outdoors, like the mountain.
See, I never took you for that kind of person.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I never did. I'm going to tell a short story here. I never...
The longest story.
The longest story ever. I never did. Actually, not that I never did. So I grew up in Puerto Rico.
Ew.
All I knew was the beach. Ew. The beach. And I still love the beach. But when I came here to Pennsylvania, there was nothing to do. The nearest beach was like 3 hours, 3.5 hours to 4 hours away.
And you came here like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. And when I did go to, I think it was Ocean City, my first beach here.
The best beach in the world. Ocean City,
Dude,
Maryland.
So disappointed. I'm not saying it's a bad beach.
No, it's different.
Compared to what I had in Puerto Rico, it's the difference is colossal.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that?
Colossal. Like Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah.
You play that game?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mostly saw my wife play it.
Did she like that one?
Yeah. But in the United States, it wasn't until I was in 10th grade and we had that fresh bio class.
For a freshwater bio?
Yes.
Dude, that was fun.
So that class alone, it sparked a whole... I've always been attracted to
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm making a lot of
To
jokes
me.
in between. Like,
No, say I've
Pedro.
always been attracted to the natural world. Like growing up, I was always watching Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, like all the documentaries, bro. I'm such a nerd for that shit.
Yeah.
But then I took that class, freshwater bio, and all the stuff we did outdoors. We used to go to like creeks and rivers and like get little crayfish and study the microorganisms and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the semester, we would go on like a hiking exploring trip.
Yeah.
And dude, that was my first time hiking. And it's like, dude, it's like I was made for this shit.
Yeah. Okay. You have to tell them about the story about you, Warren, what's her name? Tara.
Oh, Tara and Ben.
And Ben in the woods at night. You
Oh,
have to
dude.
you have to set the tone though first. Like, why were you guys in the woods, or like hiking in the woods?
So I guess I have to start from the beginning. So what do you mean set the tone?
Well,
Because now I feel like, I have to
so
set
you
the
can
tone.
you can tell the story like we were in the hiking in the woods, but like why were you in the hiking in the woods? Just to hike, or
I mean, no, it was more of like, it was in the afternoon. I would say maybe like 5 o'clock. It was still daylight out.
yeah,
And we was just wanted to, Tara was driving
yeah,
and we was just wanted to explore. So it's like, Tara was like, hey, I'm just going to drive. And then you guys tell me where to turn.
Yeah,
Do you want me to turn left or right? These are our college friends, by
yeah,
the way.
yeah.
So every time she would come to a intersection or the end of the road, we would tell her, I'll go right here, or go left here. And I think we were caught up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We were out somewhere in the mountains. And then we just like, okay, why don't we just stop by a trail?
Right.
And
As any normal person would do.
yeah,
On the way driving somewhere.
Let's go out for a hike. And I was like, yeah, and we were in this just like explorer vibe,
Yeah.
and it was like 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30. Was kind of still daylight out.
Yeah.
And as we were, hiking up the mountain, Ben was saying stuff like, "Oh, I heard like the summit here is like really cool. Like once you reach the summit, it looks really good."
Yeah.
But it was getting dark, and I'm like, "How the fuck are we gonna,
Yeah.
see the coolness of all this?
Yeah.
If it's dark out?" And when I say dark, like it was like 8 o'clock, 8:30, and it got pitch dark.
You guys didn't take any flashlights or anything like that with you?
All we had was our phones, our phone lights.
And knowing you, your phone was like probably almost dead.
Probably. I can't remember, but most likely.
Yeah.
I didn't have glasses, and I normally require glasses.
Okay, he's like a bat
Yes.
Without glasses.
I am super blind.
without the sonar.
And I cannot see at night. So, and it was pitch dark, and we still didn't reach the summit. I don't think we ever found it. But so we had our flashlights, like trying to look at the ground, and it was pitch dark. And then I think it was either Tara or Ben or even Warren. I can't even remember. They had the idea, bro, let's turn our lights off. We did, dude, and we looked up to the sky, and it was like the most amazing view
Wow.
I've ever had
Wow.
in my entire life, dude. Like you could see the whole like Milky Way galaxy.
Bro, that reminds me of like, I can't remember where I was. I was on some type of trip with friends, and we were away from like city lights.
Yeah.
Right. Or it might have been like it was a power outage. There was a power outage.
Nice.
And it was nighttime outside. And like the sky was so bright. Like you
Lit
could
up.
see all the stars. And it's like, you don't realize like how bright it is until all the power is out.
Yep.
And like the concerning thing about that is you have Starlink satellites, and like by a certain time or a certain projection, like that is while it's going to bring internet to a lot of people, because they look like stars, by a certain period of time you won't be able to see the stars in the night sky. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they'll be covering the sky. Like that's the plan for like the next 20, 30 years is like you allow internet access to areas that would normally not have it. And Starlink satellites are supposed to like help with that. But as a repercussion, because there's lights on them, you think that they're stars, but they're not actual stars. So like the theory is by a certain period of time, there's going to be so many in the sky that you can't see the actual stars, which is super concerning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't
that wild?
It is super wild. And if you think about it, like we use the stars to navigate.
We used to.
When we don't have technology, what are we going to use? Stars are there.
Are you hinting at like the
apocalypse or something? No, but I'm saying like, what I'm saying is like technology, I don't feel like it's essential to like, it helps us out a lot.
Oh, dude, it helps us out so much.
Yeah, but what if there has to be a point where we don't have it? I'm not saying there's going to be a point, but what if there's a point? All I'm saying is, okay, we depend so much on our GPS.
Yeah, I don't think people are worried about that, though. I think they're only worried about where technology can go.
Right. Having Wi-Fi, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I love Wi-Fi. But something about losing sight of stars bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Just because that experience I had.
Yeah.
I can see little stars here and there, but bro, it's so beautiful.
Think about if you go outside right now, like you have a hard time seeing anything. Like it has to be like dark.
All that light pollution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes it challenging to see anything, but you don't really appreciate it until like it's gone. Like you're either in the woods or you're at a cabin where all the power is out, and then that's when you kind of like start appreciating it. But we kind of like went off on a side tangent, which I don't mind.
Yeah,
I like doing that. But like if we pull the reins back in, right, and we take the whips out and we slap you with the whips, leave some scarring on you. That was pretty good. You practice that in your off time?
Nah, that was when I was a kid and I started like trying to make an effect, punch it like Goku punching Vegeta or something like that. My brother taught me that. That's crazy, right?
That's something, bro. That's something. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah. But like even right there, you have a connection that built with you. So now with all of what we talked about, minus like the stars and everything like that, do you think hobbies define us, or do you think it's something else?
Something else.
And enlighten me.
Okay. The reason why I think it's something else, because once we start thinking that our hobbies define us, for example, what if I'm just gonna give this like scenario. If my legs are cut or amputated,
I can make that happen.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying, let's say I'm not able to hike, I'm not able to game no more. Like if my hands were cut up, like if I have a deep identification with gaming, that's gonna start. I'm gonna start having a lot of questions about myself. So that's why, just because I can't play video games,
you find another way to do it.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're trying to say.
You know what? Yeah, come on, man. Like, I know we have a lot of ways to game. Like, you can game with your mouth and shit. Like,
what?
Bro, there's people out here gaming with their mouth.
Mouth? Really? Oh, wow. I thought you were making a joke.
Bro, I salute them. But I'm serious.
Oh,
like,
wow.
They do. But all I'm saying is, like, there's a point where you won't be able to do what you want to do. And when you start identifying that, oh, this is what defines me, and just because I can't do it, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like hobbies connect. They connect us, right? And it's something fun to do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It doesn't define you. Like, for example, you're into swimming. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going with swimming. No, you're not into swimming. But if you were into swimming,
but I'm not.
Huh?
But I'm not.
Okay. Well, you're snowboarding.
But I'm not.
You are into snowboarding.
The goal is to say that
but let's
not.
say you were really good at snowboarding. Okay.
Oh, so you're saying I'm not good at snowboarding?
No, I'm talking about like X Games level.
I am X Games.
Shaun White level.
I am Shaun White.
Shaun White.
You really don't think I'm that good?
Dude, you're good.
But not Shaun White good.
Bro, X Games?
I could be on X Games.
You would be on X Games right now.
Bro, my body, if I was if I was on X Games, my body would have become part of the mountain by now. My bones would be dust. There's no way that I could be on it. anywhere close to how like talented and athletic those people are. But anyway,
it would be dope. But if you were really good at something, for example, snowboarding, to the level to be high in the competition, automatically you would identify with that much more than somebody who just takes it as a hobby.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody who just takes it as a hobby, they realize, okay, I'm not that good, but it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody that finds it fun and they're really good at it, and then they have that competitiveness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once they start taking it too much into that competition,
competitive area,
and they start losing sight of what's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and then let's say you're really good, but you're 8th place.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't consider themselves, oh, I'm not good enough.
You're like, I gotta try harder. I gotta do better.
Exactly.
It's like when you're in school and you get an A- instead of an A+ on your test.
Yes.
It's like, bro, you got an A- on your test. Be like, you're in the Olympics. Be grateful that you're in the Olympics.
You're a student.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a student. An A+, I mean, A- is still good as shit. But all I'm saying is that when you start identifying too much with your hobby, you start to lose that level of fun.
Yeah.
And if you define yourself with that hobby, oh, I'm just in 8th place. Like that. I'm that in life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like, no, it's not that is not life.
You're associating your position, your competitive position with where you are in life.
Yes.
Which you can't. You have to keep them separate in that regard.
Yeah, and you know, and people, they lose sight of what life really is.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I mean, this can mean a lot of things. People have different perspective of what life is, but for me, you know, life is a gift. Like the odds of you being alive today are so like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people, like I've heard it somewhere, like the majority of people won't be able to live. What I'm saying is the majority of the amount of humans that can possibly be born is so vast. And the number of humans alive today is so small compared to that number that if you look at it and take a step back, you'll be grateful to even experience what you're experiencing right now.
Right.
So, and a lot of people go too hard on that. They're too hard on themselves, you know, but bro, just live your life.
Yeah.
And take it. You could take it as a hobby, maybe take it to that competitive level, but don't define yourself as that.
You can have some friendly competition without being obsessed. I think that's the key word we're probably looking for right here. Is like, you don't like, you want to have fun with it and you want to have competition, but you don't want to be so obsessed that you lose sight of the whole reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to what you talked about with Shaun White and his story. So he had to kind of go back to square one.
Yeah.
So I think from my perspective, at least, how hobbies, they don't necessarily define us, but they give us kind of like a clear guideline of their interests, right? If you removed hobby out, you could replace it with the word interest.
Yes.
Right. And you can be interested in a lot of things. You don't necessarily have to just be interested in gaming, but there are things that captivate you and have a strong grip on you, like our own personal hobbies.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that defines you as a person is going to get deep.
It's really deep.
Super deep, because let me tell you, usually I'm the type of person that, like, if it starts getting serious, I'll insert a joke just to make it
not
you
so
are
serious.
that
person.
Because I don't like when things get too serious. But here it is. Deep. Here we come. Right? Make it quiet. I'm going to drop it out real quick. You're laughing at me.
It's quiet.
Okay.
You're saying the tone.
It's not the hobbies or interests that define who we are. It's the people and the experiences that define who our person and our character is. Because as you grow, when you're a child, you learn from your mom and your dad. You understand what's right and what's wrong, hot and cold.
Yep.
As you get older, you start going to school. You make friends. You meet teachers. Those teachers become your mentors. Those teachers become your mentors. Those peers become your peers, or they become your friends.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. And so you continuously build this chain of connections with people. So it's not the hobbies per se. It's the connections you're building with people that end up defining who you are. Think about it.
I have a question. Go ahead.
All of the interactions that you've had in your entire life,
Yep.
right, shaped your mind,
Yep.
your heart,
Yep.
and your spirit overall.
True.
Imagine if you wouldn't have met certain people. Do you think that you would think the same way that you think now?
No.
Exactly. So it's people, it's community, it's that. Those are the things that shape and define who a person is. And I'll leave it. It's not who.
I want to challenge that.
Okay, but
maybe
we'll
another
do,
one.
Maybe do
another
part
one.
2.
Okay.
But I also want to say that if you look at like how, and yes, you can challenge it because I can throw out some things too of like living such circumstances between 2 children, right? 2 children get the same amount of love and care, right? One child could turn to crime while the other one turns out to be successful.
Yep.
Right. It completely depends on the child, and they do need specific like teachings in order to pull them in. But again, it also depends on who they're hanging around, the people that they're associating themselves with. So
I would say it has they can have a lot of influence.
Yes. And I think, you know, depending on your environment, like that will that will also help contribute to how you define as a person. Like, you know, if you're selling drugs versus somebody who's not selling drugs, or maybe let's say they're in the pharmaceutical business where they're actually in CVS.
Yeah.
CVS. Well, the only thing that's separate, there's some of the basic things that separated those 2 people is one may have grown up in the projects, whereas one may have had all of the things that all of the tools that they needed to become successful.
Yes.
And so that's what they pursued. But if somebody's not given those tools sometime, or have those people around them that are influential to make that change, then they fall into a different category that will define who that person ends up becoming. Depends sometimes. This is not definite.
So
this
I
is
was
sometimes.
about to say, but what if? Okay.
So, but I think overall, like, and so that kind of like that creates the other question, right? If hobbies don't necessarily define us as people, right? And this goes to what you were just talking about. Yep. Like if you lost your arm or leg, who would we be without hobbies? Like what kind of people would we be? Like if you remove all hobbies out of the equation, you don't have any hobbies, who would we be?
Can I get real deep here?
Go for it. I got deep. It's your turn.
We just are.
You just are what?
We just are.
Yeah,
if you don't affiliate yourself with nothing, you're just a being. You're a being.
Yeah.
You're I would say you're the impersonation of free will.
Right.
And action. And with that comes, the ability to do a hobby, the ability to do anything you want.
Right.
So if you don't affiliate yourself with a certain type of thing or a certain type of hobby, you can literally do anything you want.
Right. I mean, but that also depends on your interest, right? Like you yourself are not interested in ballet, right? Could you do ballet?
Of course, dude, I'll be a beast.
You do have some finesse, but like you yourself are not like, you don't, that's not your thing. Like,
no.
So to change your interests, your desires on like your makeup of what you like, right, and who you are, your interests, to kind of like sway you in like the sense of in the direction of ballet, like how would you do that? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say or no?
And now the question I had for you earlier, remember I had a question.
Oh yeah.
Now, with that being said, that you said earlier, do we choose our hobbies or our hobbies choose us because of the people we meet?
The second one. We don't choose those hobbies.
they choose us.
They choose us.
Because they come naturally.
Right. Because it's the experiences, again, it's the experiences we share with other people that
right.
end up defining it. Because when's the earliest time you got into gaming?
It was with my brother.
Stop right there. Your
Boom.
brother.
It's right off the gate. Like,
Right
I
off
had
the
no
gate.
choice.
For me,
my brother is not a choice.
For me, it was with my mom, and like that's it. That was enough to hook me into games. Like, but it's that experience. It's that positive experience. Imagine if that was with ballet. Like your mom did ballet with you, or snowboarding with you.
Yes.
Now that's your number one hobby.
They
like
choose us.
It's the people, and it's you're being nurtured into what you end up liking in the future. It's those positive experiences.
And even if I didn't like gaming, eventually there was going to come somebody that was going to come into my life and introduce me to my next big interest.
Exactly. So have we defined who we would be without our hobbies?
I did.
We just are.
I did said something.
We just are.
I feel like we would be the impersonation of free will and action.
Yeah. I don't know if I really have an answer for like who we would be without.
I feel like you have to get deep.
I don't know. Like who we would be without hobbies. I think we would be not, like you said, we would be nothing.
The impersonation of free will, and you're right. It's nothing.
It's nothingness, because that's taking all personality out of a being, and a being needs personality to be human, right? You need that.
Damn, this is deep, dude.
And this is the deepest podcast we've ever had. I thought 100%. And I think if you had no hobbies or no interests, you are not living. You were like, and I don't mean like I don't mean like if you haven't tried this meal from Burger King, you're not living. No, true. I mean like you are physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever.
Not living.
You're not living. Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
I don't think there's not a single person on this planet that does not have a hobby or a single interest, at least one. And you need that, because that helps you connect with other people.
Yes. And dude, we could go really deep here. Like this, we could go really deep here. And I don't want to get too deep because it can get really like
existential.
Nah, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, like when it comes to religion. Okay.
I don't want religion in my LeisureHub podcast.
Right, right. But I'm talking about religion with like, oh, I have to be this way. I have to be that way. You know, a lot of religions, and people who are true to that religion don't think of it as a religion. So I'm not talking to those people, because those people really live it.
Right.
You get what I mean? I'm talking about the people who just do stuff to associate with a religion.
Right.
Okay. That's what who I'm talking about here. Now, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. When you do those things, you become the impersonation of free will and action. But like you said, it will be nothing.
Right.
And that's why I say, like, life is a gift. Life is a gift is because you are free will, because you are action. The gift is choose something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Choose something to live by and to have fun.
Yeah. You know, this is like a very simple portion to what you just said, but there was a movie, I can't remember what the movie was, but there's one phrase that stuck with me ever since I watched it. And I'll have to go back and actually think of what the movie is called. But there was a phrase that somebody said, "Our choices define us." And I was like, that, for some reason, that alone, that small thing has carried with me ever since I watched that movie. And bro, that movie was like over 10 years ago.
Our choices.
Our choices define us. Every choice you make defines your character and your person, like who you are. I have to agree. Yeah, it's true. This is the deepest podcast we've ever had, and I mean, this was extremely. I feel like this is gonna help somebody, or like at least somebody finds it interesting. Yeah. But I just wanted to say one more thing to you, Pedro. What's that? Thank you so much for joining us on the latest episode of the Leisure Hub Podcast. This was like a great one. I love doing this one.
Part 2, maybe.
Part 2. We 100% do a part 2. Yeah. I mean, we heard you guys clamoring in the comment section asking, we want Pedro, we want Justin.
This guy.
Unfortunately, no one's doing that. It's all just in my head. I go to sleep and like, you know how like you dream and like you can picture thousands of people and like cheering your name. That was in a dream. I was thinking that. I was like, Justin, Pedro, do another podcast. Do another podcast.
Dude, man.
But thank you guys very much for joining us on the latest episode of the Leisure Hub Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this one. And we want to let you know to have a very, very good Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Because by the time this comes out, actually, no, it'll be after that. So,
well, we hope you had a good one.
We hope you have a good one. And we love you. From Justin and Pedro.
You are loved.
At the Leisure Hub Podcast. We love you very much. And you are our Valentines.
See you on the next one.
How?
There it is. Man, we're getting deep, man.